Kia ora folks, welcome to the fucking Woo Woo Podcast. My name's Tommy. I'm a therapist, family man, medicine person, musician, and doing my best to help. I wasn't planning on doing a podcast now, but I just got a message from someone, and I thought I would talk about this a little bit. So for 20 years, I was an active member of 12-Step Fellowship, and during that time, they call it sponsorship, but it basically means mentorship. I would mentor people, and I was always had at least one, if not two or three, sometimes even more mentors on the go. And I would go to meetings, and I would go to meetings not to stay clean. I would go to meetings to share my experience, strength, and hope with others. And I would go to meetings and I would share a positive, uplifting message to try and inspire people to keep persevering, keep trying, keep going with their recoveries. And I would, my sponsor Bede, who I talked about in a previous episode, he told me after a meeting, you don't go and chat with your friends and hang out with your friends and be all fucking cliquey. You go and look at the people who are standing there awkwardly, not knowing what the fuck to do, and you go and make them feel welcome. So for me, a 12-Step Fellowship was all about manaakitanga. My 12-Step Fellowship was very keen on you're allowed to bring your kids. You are allowed to, we start with karakia, we close with karakia, we break tapu by having, biscuits and tea afterwards, all these different things that align with Te Ao Māori. 12-Step Fellowship approach to recovery is very compatible with Te Ao Māori approaches to tikanga. There are many, many aspects, and it's a beautiful, beautiful fellowship. The different fellowships, there's a few different main ones. Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Methamphetamine Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, Al-Anon, which is for family members. There's a bunch of fellowships out there. Anyway, so a huge part of my life up until 7 years ago was community service, voluntary, unpaid, voluntary community service. Through the fellowship, I would support and mentor people. And then that stopped. And I had kids. By the time I drifted away from the fellowship, I had kids, and I wasn't giving back to the community so much. And now for the last 5 years, I have been giving back to the community, and it's primarily just by different people coming into my orbit and needing support in different ways. Primarily it's in the form of voice messages. I send lots of voice messages to lots of different people, and it's through that work of sending lots of voice messages that people said to me, you should do a podcast. Listen to your voice messages is like having my own private podcast, and people would say, why don't you do a podcast? So that's why I'm doing this, and this is a way of maybe giving to more people. But the whole point of this, just so you guys know, is not for me to get rich and famous. I jokingly said in a previous podcast, maybe I'll get famous like Russell Brand. It has not, genuinely, like I'd love there to be a big listenership or viewership or whatever you call it, but it never crosses my mind I'm going to get any money from this, you know what I mean? Or get famous and have other opportunities from it. It's genuinely me sharing my story and my experiences to hopefully help others. And I got a message today, and it really fucking touched me really deeply, and I just wanted to read it out. Because while I have helped people with their addictions through my work, through my paid work as a counsellor, and I still continue to do a huge amount of community work just through the type of person I am, through these voice messages and other things that I do to support people in the community, I have not directly been helping people with addictions since I really left that fellowship, which is about 7 years ago now. And here I got this message, and it just fucking touched me so much. He goes, Morning, bro, I'm 3 days clean, going through a breakup, and yesterday was the worst day I've had in a very long time. Episode 8 of your podcast was the only reason I didn't pick up yesterday. I spent all day letting go and distracting. So I just wanted to thank you and let you know that what you're doing is making a difference. Thanks, bro. Much love. It's a simple message, but just so you know who this motherfucker is, who fucking messaged me, this motherfucker, a while ago, the National Party, says before this time the National Party, this must have been fucking 12 years ago or some shit, last time they were talking about changing the flag. And this is a big motherfucker, and he won't mind me saying this, I'm not telling his name anyway. He's a big stature motherfucker, right? Like, he doesn't look like the kind of dude. He's not the kind of dude you want to fuck around with. He's about as bogan, he's about as white trash as you can be. And I say that I'm proudly white trash, right? So I ain't criticizing the dude, you know what I mean? You don't want to fuck with this guy, right? he doesn't look like the kind of dude who wears a onesie. Let me put it there. He doesn't look like he wears onesies. He dresses up in a onesie. He dresses up in a onesie of the New Zealand flag. I don't even know how this motherfucker doesn't look like he knows about the internet. So I don't even know how he knew about Facebook. He dresses up in a onesie in the New Zealand flag, gets a photo of himself done, and turns it into a meme. Somehow he turns it into a meme, and he goes, and the meme goes, "If you change the flag, you owe me a onesie, cunt." That's what he's saying to John Key. If you change the flag, you owe me a onesie, cunt. I was like, this dude had always kind of, I didn't know what the fuck to think of this guy. I had no idea what the fuck to think of this guy. But when I saw that, I was like, this motherfucker's got a heart of gold. I love this dude. I fucking love this dude. This guy shared in a meeting once. Just so you guys know, in 12-step fellowships and meetings, people often share the same kind of stories, so the same kind of sayings, you know what I mean? It's not very often that the fellowship will have a whole brand new expression, a whole brand new saying. A lot of the sayings, they come from the literature or they come from traditions and stuff. This dude said something that I'd never heard before in my life, and I thought it was the fucking coolest thing ever, because I relapsed a lot of times. I know I still haven't told my story about getting clean and stuff, but I relapsed for years. 3 rehabs, at least 7 or 8 attempts at getting clean through the 12-step fellowship that I use. Multiple 2 or 3 other stints at counsellors before I even went to a 12-step fellowship. I'd been trying to get clean for a long time, to the point where at a certain point you just think, this isn't going to happen for me. I don't have what it takes to get clean. Everyone else can make it. Everyone else can get clean, but I don't have it in me. I'm not going to be one of the lucky ones. I'm not going to get clean, you know? I'm not going to get to have that happy ever after. For me, it's just going to be the fucking despair. And I was about 17 years clean when I heard him say this. So it didn't apply to me directly, but I just thought for the rest of my fucking life, I'm going to use that with the people I mentor in recovery, like with people who are in early recovery, especially people who've relapsed a lot of times. Now, I can't remember if he said it in first person, like he came up with this idea, or a sponsor said it to him, or he was telling the story of saying this to someone else or whatever. So I'll just pretend I remember, and I'll just say it one way or another, because using 20 different syntaxes, each sentence isn't going to work, and it's only 2 sentences anyway. So let's just say he was saying it to someone. I'll say it the other way. I'll say it like his sponsor said it to him, though I kind of think he made it up himself. And I was talking to my sponsor about how I keep fucking up. And I was saying, I'm never going to fucking get it. I've relapsed every time. I'm never going to get it fucking right. I'm never going to make it. And I'm fucking back in the rooms 3 days clean. And I just feel like a fuck up. And I just feel like I've got no chance. And my sponsor said, don't worry about that bullshit. You only have to get it right once. Don't worry about any of that shit. You just have to get it right once. I swear to God, I'd never heard that before. When it comes to recovery, when it comes to staying clean for the rest of your life, you only have to get it right once. Can you fucking believe it, folks? You only have to get it right once. Now he sends me a fucking message, 3 days clean. And I send him back a voice message reminding him about how he said that to me in a meeting, and reminding him about that onesie meme and how much I fucking love him and how I know he can make it. And I tell him a true story about how fucking 4 days ago I'm with a fucking client. Well, I didn't say this specifically because I didn't remember it at the time, but I told him how I quote that thing he said. So I still don't know the pause button, but I'm hoping I can edit a bit out. So what I did is I went off on a fucking random tangent, which got me into a whole bunch of deep water and bit off more than I could chew in this podcast. And so I was just so depressed and bummed out because I really wanted to honor my friend who'd sent me that fucking beautiful message. And so I'm just going to work out if I can chop that bit off somehow. I'm sure it'll be easy because it's just chopping the bit off the end. I don't have to chop off something in the middle. And so that's why I pushed stop. Now I've started again. So I don't know where I was when I pushed stop. But I was saying this fucking guy is amazing, and shit, now I don't know where I'm going to edit it. I'm not going to tell the story about how I quoted him just the other day, but I quoted him just the other day. I quoted him just the other day and let him know just how much his character, his irrepressible fucking, just vivacious fucking tenacity and force of will had inspired me, and how him saying in that meeting, "You only have to get it right once," had been a fucking revelation to me. And I've quoted him and said it to fucking dozens of people ever since. And being that I imagine you might be listening, I just want to say to you, bro, like, you fucking watch my podcast and it helps you get through the day clean. And I remind you about how you said something to me that helped fucking hundreds of other fucking addicts get through the days clean. And now here I am on the very podcast that helped you get clean, fucking giving you a shout out. Because you fucking matter, bro. And I know you've helped fucking thousands of fucking addicts. You might be 3 days clean. Well, this might not come out for it. You might be 3 weeks clean now. But you've been a fucking force of good in your community for a long time. And I think in fairness, if we're being honest with each other, you've been a fucking pain in the ass for the last year or two. That's alright, bro. I've been a fucking pain in the ass too. You only have to get it right once. Forget about that shit, man. You can't do anything about that right now. Beating yourself up, trying to be motivated and driven by guilt, the shame of whatever's happened in the last couple years while you were making some mistakes. Fuck that. Fuck that. That weight's gonna cripple you, bro. It's gonna be too much weight on your shoulders. Let that go for a little bit. You know, these 12 steps have got a whole bunch of shit about making amends. Once you get down a little bit further, you ain't gonna be let off the hook. Wait for your higher power, wait for your sponsor, wait for the 12 steps to get up to the fucking making amends. Right now, you just stay clean, bro. Just fucking believe in yourself. You're a good man. You stay clean. You know, I felt so guilty, guys. I felt so guilty for such a long time that I wasn't clean anymore. I couldn't be a good example to people in recovery the way I used to be. You know? Because they'd either think I was a hypocrite, or they'd think, oh, well, I can just fucking take psychedelics like Tommy does now. It's the thing I've felt the most loss about, to be honest with you guys. Is not that I don't have my clean time. I'm not the fucking first teenager in New Zealand to fucking get clean in my fellowship. It's not losing that status. It's thinking that I can't help other addicts the way I used to. Not quite the same way, now that I'm not clean. I felt a lot of regret and a lot of guilt and a lot of loss and grief about that. And obviously, if you're in early recovery, these podcasts about a guy who takes plant medicine and even takes recreational drugs sometimes, that's not clear messaging. I don't think this is the best podcast for people in early recovery, but if my fucking bro can send me a message saying that episode helped him stay clean for the day, even though he knows I'm not clean and I'm not trying to be, fuck, it means the world to me, bro. It meant so much to me. I'm so grateful to you, brother. I'm so grateful to you for sending me that message. I've had a lot of beautiful messages about this podcast. A lot of people saying they're touched with this amazing woman up north tell me about how she made her partner watch it with her, and how it had opened up beautiful corridor between the two of them, beautiful healing corridor between the two of them. I got other friends in recovery, but who are in long-term recovery, who messages me every time I release one. I have a really close friend. She's an incredible woman. Her tautoko means the world to me at the moment as well. She's been there since day one, sending me these beautiful messages every time a new one comes out. Kia ora, sister. Thank you so much. And lots of my friends, obviously I'm getting I'm lucky, right? I'm getting lots of messages, lots of little pats on the back for old Tom. Most of the people saying, you sleeping yet, bro? Because I've only released episode fucking 12 on the podcast at the time of recording this. And everyone's like, fuck, man, I think you might need to see someone. We need to get Tommy into, we're calling the fucking DHB on Tommy. Tommy's got to be fucking institutionalized, man. I'm like, dudes, I've been sleeping fine for 3 weeks already. This shit's backdated. Yeah, anyway, thanks again, everybody. And thank you for reaching out. And, yeah. So I've still got to tell my recovery story. I've got a whole bunch of more stories to tell about polyamory. You guys won't know that because that episode will come out and I will have re-recorded. Don't worry about it. Love you guys. Oh, no, fuck. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. Oh, I gotta do a freestyle still. Shit. Okay. I could have one life to get it right. If I could have one life. If I could have one life to get it right. If I could have one life to get it right, then I get it right. Well, then I'll get it right. If you can give me one night to get it right, to get it right. If you can give me one night to get it right, to get it right. Well, then I'll get it right. Well, then I'll get it right. Well, then I'll get it right down with the daylight, down with the nighttime. I'ma bring the thunder, the drums, it's a nice time. When the lights shine, I'ma get my heart blind. I'ma get my mind in time with these rhymes. When I find all the medicine that I find, all the memories and the penance left behind. Addiction broken at the base of my spine. My chakra open till I feel in divine wine light flowing through. Give him my grace, give me up to God till I look him in the face. I'ma say, all my life I've been such a disgrace. If I get it right tonight, then I'm put back in my place on the most high. Like Sayuna, the mountainside. I'ma breathe this time, I'ma get this time. I pray this life that I'ma get it right. If I can get it right. If I can get it right. Just one time, if I can get it right. If I can get it right. Just for this one time, I'ma get it right. Till eclipse the moon. Coming up again, you could tell me soon. And like the bird of feather and the blossom bloom, you know I get together and I make some room for your heart too. We come we do, and I see through all the game and the good and the shame you pursue. I gotta pay the shoe, and I'ma get the news. I'm wearing your shoes, I walk 10 miles till I choose. All it is is soon, I see it on the news. Death and destruction is coming to us soon. But I can make it so and make my heart swoon like the most high giving me the tune on my side. Taking it and rhyme. You can get it right, you can get it right tonight, and I'ma get it right. If you give me this one time, if you give me this one life, I'ma get it right, I'ma get it right tonight. I'ma get it right. I'ma get it right tonight. One of the things, guys, here's a little trick about my freestyles. Sometimes I do a freestyle and it starts with something that I think is an amazing chorus. And the whole rest of the freestyle I spend trying to get back to that chorus, but I've got no idea what the melody of it was, the fucking rhythm of it was, and the order of the words. I kind of know there was like a line in there, and you'll see me sometimes on stage. There will have been this amazing fucking, it might even be not the start of the song, but at some point I will have freestyled something which I want as a chorus, and you'll see me circling back to try and find it again, and I've fucking lost it. And that's the problem with having a terribly damaged hippocampus from fucking teenage drug use. So all I can say about that, folks, don't do drugs. For real this time.